Hi, I'm Henry Elfring and I'm glad you stopped by the studio today. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a sketch of a zoomorphic image that I've created and will be sent to my CAD technician. And I always take my final sketch and place it under a clean sheet of tracing paper, and then I begin to finalize my lines. And when I started this sketch, I started in a circle, which reminded me of connection, and that really ties in with my philosophy of believing all living things are connected. So as I trace around these lines, I can feel the gliding motion of my pencil as it goes across the paper, and it reminds me of ice skating, and it's just a part of the drawing and the process that I really enjoy the most. Now, as you look at this drawing that I'm creating, I've taken two creatures and combining them into one. And to do this, I took a dominant characteristic of each creature and then tried to marry them together in sort of this circular motion. So I found that the simpler the pieces are, the easier they are to read. However, I've often noticed that when people are looking at my jewelry, sometimes they don't see what I saw when I was putting it together, which is totally fine. So these two images both have very strong identities. The bird for its beak and its feathers, and the fish with its fishtail. So even though the bird really kind of dominates the two images, there's a certain fluid movement of these two creatures that makes them sort of a successful pairing. They're kind of a pleasing pairing of the two together. And at first glance, people probably won't notice the fishtail, but that's okay. Now, I think I was always destined to become a jewelry designer and maker. From an early age, I can remember being in the backyard and collecting dandelions and making dandelion necklaces, or taking twigs and incorporating them into some sort of an adornment. Now, I spent a number of years in my adult life art directing fashion shoots, but near the end I rediscovered my love of adornment and jewelry making. So now I get to create wonderful pieces of jewelry in metal. So as I continue to trace and to color these images, I can start to see the beginnings of a cohesive unit. And I love seeing my little mythical creature come to life. And as I start to color, it's a way for me to visually illustrate to the CAD technician at first glance what it is I am trying to accomplish. So now, as I'm seeing this come to completion, I know that this is really going to work and going to be a successful jewelry item. Sketching has certainly taken place from the caveman on forward, but as we get into the 21st century, I've decided, like many in my industry, to embrace the new technology, which is CAD, which stands for Computer Aided Drawing. In order to make this work successfully, as I begin finishing my drawing here, just like an architect, I will sit down and I will start to think about how high I want the piece to be, how wide I want the piece to be, and write all that information down for him, since I won't be sitting with the technician as he starts to input the information into the computer. Because I will not be sitting with the technician, it's really important for me to spec out all of the dimensions for this finished piece of jewelry. It's very similar to what an architect might do in his blueprint drawings. The final earring that you will see here in a moment as I finish up this sketch is a reflection of all the thought out details listed on the sketch prior to sending it out to the technician. I hope you found this visit in the studio of interest, and I really look forward to visiting with you yet again. So be sure to check out my website and email me with any of your thoughts or questions. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you.